Hi guys, welcome to Hollow Mechanic. Today we're going to be talking about our new all-aluminum radiator. It fits the Ferrari FF, the GTC4 Lusso, not the T, the 812, the F12, and the Monza as well. Now these cars are pretty new vehicles. Why are we looking at radiators already? Pretty much the reason for that is twofold. One, the maintenance schedule that Ferrari is maintaining with the vehicles, as well as the type of construction the radiators are made from. So before we go over this, let me tell you really quickly, the coolant that is called for by Ferrari is the glyco shell. It's an organic acid technology coolant that boldly boasts on their website, the official technical data sheet, extended fluid change intervals, up to 4 years after a full flush and fill. So it's very important that 4 years is the absolute maximum life that this coolant can have. And it quotes in the testing at the bottom of that data sheet how much of these additives come out of solution after 168 days. The reason that's important is that separation causes sediment to build up and causes problems like water pump leaks and radiator leaks. Here we have a radiator that is out of a car with 9,000 miles, a 2016 model. And if you look closely in here, you can see that sediment build up in there that's just able to be flaked away. It's very thick. That is a result of not changing the coolant in time for it to fail. Okay, this sediment buildup will then coat surfaces like low points like hoses. You'll see a lot of times these coolant hoses with a ton of white, pink, orange kind of gunk coming out of them, or even on the seam here on the bottom edge of this radiator where the plastic meets the aluminum. That's right, these are plastic tanks that are bonded to aluminum. You can see the white sediment coming out from where the hose was coming out, as well as if you look closely along this seam, you can see. Now this is a very low mileage vehicle, so it wasn't happening as much, but this did cause the water pump to begin developing a leak as well. This is the water pump that we're replacing on this vehicle. Again, 9,000 miles. There are two weep holes for this, and you can see again full of coolant crud and buildup dripping down around this freeze plug. Okay, this is the 5th one that we've replaced this year. Now, what does Ferrari call for in changing this fluid? Well, on the service manual for the Ferrari FF, it says to check the radiator for fouling. That's a yearly check that's supposed to be done. However, if you loosen that hose from the radiator, you'll see that the plastic actually starts coming apart and chipping off. Just chunks of plastic debris. And look over here, almost all gone from here. As soon as you remove the hose, then you begin losing this plastic coating. That means that it's stuck to the rubber hose and it will never really reseal correctly. So most technicians do not loosen these hoses. They're not checking for fouling. Another thing that's very common with Ferraris is they have a 7-year maintenance plan. They seem to be giving this out to everybody nowadays. And I can assure you, from the vehicles that I have serviced that have had that plan, and they bring in their copies of all of their service documents, I have never seen the dealer change that coolant, not one time. So that means the first time that car is being serviced outside the dealer is 8 years, which is more than double the life of that coolant advertised by the manufacturer. That ruins the cooling system, and it needs to be flushed out, and that debris it takes several flushes and adding a block cleaner and running distilled water through it to get it out. So I highly recommend change your coolant. This is the same coolant basically as the Audi G30. If you look in the FF manual, it gives as an alternative the glyco shell a G30 coolant, which works great in Audis, but Audis say you should change the coolant every 2 to 3 years. So have a much better system if you follow that. Now, one of the ways you can see if you're having an issue is when the car is cold, open your coolant reservoir. There is no coolant level sensor in your car, so that reservoir oftentimes I find is completely empty. You should see when you open the coolant reservoir some coolant in the bottom of that neck there. If you stick a camera in there and all you see is little puddles left remaining but no actual fluid level, then you know, your car most likely is running well over 210 degrees Fahrenheit when you come to a stop. Another indication your coolant level is low. If you continue driving without repairing it, then obviously you can cause a major steam issue or a head gasket failure in the engine. Again, not as common, but make sure you keep an eye on this. It's why it's very important to see if you have a seeping water pump or radiator. So why not just replace it with another Ferrari radiator? Well, they are, as I mentioned before, plastic and aluminum. So at about the 12-year mark, regardless of how many miles you've put on your car, and with the exception of maybe like a sub 10K mile vehicle, but even with this one, you know, obviously we're having some seepage. With most vehicles, if you're putting 20 or 200,000 miles, the plastic to aluminum seam lasts about 12 years. That's as long as plastic can remain glued to aluminum before it starts to leak. So that shouldn't be the case. We have a 512 over here with the original all metal radiators, and you know, that was from the 90s, so we're 30 years in on the original coolers. The reason manufacturers are using plastic is because it is so much cheaper to make. You can just take a metal core, cut it, and then design whatever type of complexity of a tank, and then it's poured into a mold, which is a very low temperature versus casting aluminum, and it's a much cheaper process. Unfortunately, you pay for it in the long run, especially if you consider how unlikely it is the manufacturer to continue making these radiators after 20, 30 years. You want your car to be a collector piece. Already on that 512 as well, Ferrari no longer makes the fuel hoses, and it's extremely difficult to find anyone that will replace those hoses for you. So we're trying to avoid that by giving you something that we think will last much longer. This is our all aluminum one. We have a couple of them here. This one has been Cerakoted, this one has been anodized, or no, excuse me, vice versa. We prefer to Cerakote them. It's a very tough finish, same finish that you would find on a rifle or a firearm. Great for rock chips. As you can see, this one hasn't really held up well. The factory one has not held up too well to the rock chips. But also anodizing tends to discolor, so even if you do choose to anodize them, we apply a ceramic paint top coat just to make sure it remains black and won't discolor with heat or use. We improve several things about the design. We don't leave these unusual caps here that stick out like they do on the factory ones. The coolant hose inlet and outlet that is bonded on, again, another leak point, and really doesn't do much for flow characteristics, whereas here we have a nice bevel that matches the flow of the pipe. All of our fittings are set to the factory fittings, so you can use your factory fan shroud. The only modification that we do to the fan shroud is where these inlet and outlet pipe welds are. We do trim a slight amount away for clearance. Even if you decide to go back to a factory radiator, it will not affect the performance whatsoever. And it's a simple sacrifice because our goal is for you to replace this radiator now and not have to take it off for another 20 years. So how does it compare as far as cooling? Well, we have no issues with the cooling as far as that goes. As far as the longevity, obviously we're going to have a longer life. But let's go ahead and compare just the weight alone. You would think the plastic one must be much lighter, correct? Let's go ahead and look at this over here. Here we have one, and depending on the angle, if we put the full weight of it on there, we've got almost 15 pounds, 14 pounds and 14 ounces roughly. That's our plastic radiator. And then if we use our aluminum, you would think being all metal, this would be much heavier. Let's get it sitting on there. And yeah, almost 10 ounces lighter with the aluminum. So actually, even though it's all aluminum, it is a lighter material. And that's because of how much glue and the seam required to bond it together and keep it glued together. So this is actually, not that big of a difference in performance, but it is a lighter, we're trying to show that this is as comparable to the factory or better. When we sell these, we replace the rubber bushing here, as well as the 2 rubber bushings we send with it that mount both engine oil cooler, which is an all metal item, and you don't see those leaking. And then also there's a bushing on this engine oil cooler. We want, again, that you don't have to take it off for another 20 years. As far as like other options out there, you can find ones. We bought one here from eBay that is shown to be a Chinese version. As you can see from the design, I mean, just so you know, every weld is a potential weak point and failure point, and you can see they've definitely done quite a interesting weld job. I'm sure that these, if you look at the welds here, not really a good quality clean weld. I know that we had, like, look at this weld here. You know, just because it's all aluminum doesn't mean it's going to last longer than the factory. If you use junk aluminum or junk aluminum practices, if you weld using a brush to, you know, clean your aluminum and the brush has been used on steel, you will get a porous and potentially a failure on that weld later. Another great thing about having our radiators made here in America is we have excellent, highest quality aluminum with an excellent aluminum welder that has a master level of experience and tools that are only used on aluminum. Another drawback to this is that this shape here is square, and there are coolant or air conditioning lines that bend over the top of the radiator that don't fit with this. You have to bend those, as well as the fact that they are the wrong thread pitch. These are the fan shroud bolts. They're M5 bolts here, and here is where you would bolt that to, and as you can see, you can just slide that in and out because this is an M6. They put the correct ones on the side for some reason, but all these fittings should be M5 fittings, and all of them are M6. So you'll be doing quite a bit of drilling and trying to find hardware to replace to get this thing to work. And again, the only benefit to it is that it's cheaper. That with tax and shipping from eBay, you're paying roughly $1,000 for this. Obviously, it's going to look like junk in your engine bay because it's not black, as well as through the front grille of your car because, again, it's not black. So to coat it, Cerakote it, it's $300 more. Or to anodize it, you know, even if you were to find a decent anodizer that could do a good job, you're looking at $250 to anodize. So roughly $1,300 for this one, and we're selling ours for a little bit more than that. We're going to go ahead and post it on our website so you can see our prices. We are close to the price of buying a replacement one from Scuderia at wholesale. If you factor in current tariffs and shipping, we are far cheaper than what you would buy at a Ferrari dealer. And again, if you bought it from Scuderia or from Ferrari, you're going to be replacing it again. The beautiful thing about this is you can see this top edge in the engine bay, and if you are going to sell your car, you can say, hey, the radiator was leaking. Not only did I replace it, I paid a few $100s more to get one that Hollywood Mechanic designed and is going to last a long time. The next owner will not have to replace that radiator while it's in his possession, as long as you replace your coolant. If you ignore your coolant and you let it build up sediment like that, again, that sediment will build up around places like the thin tubes that pass through this core and will cause hot spots, which will then cause an uneven expansion, which would be an uneven temperature change and expansion of the metal, which will stress the metal. It all needs to expand and contract together. So make sure you're doing your coolant replacement. Also, when doing this, we highly recommend you replace your lower radiator hoses. We'll go ahead and come over here and look at this and show you why that's the case. Again, look how clean this car is. One of the cleanest FFs. You say your car has 9,000 miles. If it's not this clean, that thing's been rolled back or tracked. But let's look at the hoses here. Again, you can see the coolant was pushing its way out from around it, but also you can see how this hose here is full of debris from that plastic coating. See that buildup that's in there. Quite disgusting. So, you know, highly recommend replacing these hoses. And like I said, the bushings that we have to replace are here, rubber bushing here, rubber bushing here, and then between the oil cooler and the engine cooler. These bushings right here are pretty solid and they're really not taking a load. We're not replacing those at this time. And even if you do want to replace them, you can do so easily with the radiator in the car. It's not that big of a deal. And if you have a properly functioning cooling system, especially if you're using like our engine bay cooler system, which we'll be talking about in another video, we'll link that here. Your cooling fans are not running that much, and those are excellent SPA fans. They should last a very long time as well. We do have them being made in small batches, so basically 5 at a time. Our welder comes in and spends a couple of days cranking those out. Then they go to be coated. Again, if you want one raw aluminum, we can sell you one raw aluminum. If you want it ceramic coated or Cerakoted or anodized, we can provide all of those for you. And if you go to hollywoodmechanic.com/shop, you'll find it there with the drop downs and the options that you would like. And then we'll get one out to you and as quickly as possible.